Sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Every day that I come to the Air Zoo, I look around and I am amazed that the Air Zoo can not only survive in a smaller community like this, but can thrive. And it is because of the support of the community, of the region, that we can do that.
When we do something, we like to think of it as, in 300 years, people will look at this and say, wow, whoever restored this did a really nice job.
From the visuals of real-life aircraft to simulators for children, the Air Zoo Aerospace Museum has been operated since 1979. Sue and Pete Parrish had a dream that a small flight hangar in Portage, Michigan would soon draw people from all over to see what beauty lies at the Air Zoo.
When people come into the Air Zoo and see these airplanes and spacecraft, they are certainly very cool from afar, but to have opportunities to invent education programs for young people through high school and even adult learners, all about the science and the technology and the engineering to really bring all of that to life for people in a way that they can ultimately interact with the science, interact with the aircraft, that provides that educational value that is, quite frankly, often missing from museums.
Science in the classroom can be complicated for some visual learners. The Air Zoo has educational programs for all ages who want to learn more about the science in a fun-filled environment. Erin Lewis, the lead educator of the Air Zoo, who has been working with students from all over West Michigan for 10 years, explains how the Air Zoo will not only give students a different view of science, but also work with various school districts to ensure that academic standards are met correctly.
We wanted to support teachers and the curriculum from multiple districts and be able to support what they're doing. So we will work with their organizations and try to help them with working with standards that can be a little intimidating. And even just teaching science can be intimidating to a lot of teachers. So I do feel we can bring that hands-on STEM piece in support of what they're already doing in their classrooms.
And they also make a nice buzzing sound if here, all right, I don't know if I'll get it right the first time.
Hands-on approach, inquiry-based, so it's more about the students asking questions and learning about how to do science rather than us just talking to them.
We have high school groups that come in on buses. West Michigan Aviation Academy from Grand Rapids, they send busloads of kids down to work on the airplanes. They love it, and we love having their help.
And then just put one finger on here and just kind of push it all out to the edges. And then when you get that done,
We have about 100 employees and over 200 volunteers. And without those volunteers, you and I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. Some of those volunteers come in 1 day a week. Some of those volunteers come in 5 days a week. But when you think about some of these aircraft, like one that we finished recently that went out to the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum, where we put in 41,000 hours of work. Over 1,600 people did that. That includes 2 or 3 employees and all volunteers. So it is remarkable. But it's the volunteers themselves that make it remarkable, the passion that they bring to this work.
This is what we start with.
For Greg Ward, the Air Zoo Restoration Center is more than just fixing aircraft. Working in the Restoration Center for 35 years, Greg has been able to display those projects within the museum along with having visitors to see firsthand how the process works, but he states it comes along with some help.
Here at the Air Zoo Restoration Center, we take old, mostly World War II vintage aircraft and restore them back to what we like to call mint condition. We just finished an F-117 Nighthawk. That's a more modern day stealth fighter. It took a year and 1 week to finish that restoration. It's a way for us to leave our mark in the world and do something good. These airplanes sat on the bottom of Lake Michigan for 68 years, rotting away. To get a sponsor to pay to have them recovered. Once we started pulling these airplanes out of Lake Michigan, it gave us a whole new purpose. And now those airplanes that we restore out of Lake Michigan won't stay here. The first one did. It's over in the other building. But all the other ones go to different museums. One of them we just shipped 2 years ago to the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum. Our CEO, Troy Thrash, he's amazing at fundraising. So he makes it possible for us to continue to work on the airplanes and have the money to do so. The first CEO retired, and we were all really afraid of who the new CEO would be, because they had to be a good fundraiser. And thank goodness they picked Troy. He's amazing. I mean, everybody loves him. Everybody likes to work for him. He's really turned this place into a huge success story, and he gets us the funding we need to continue to do restoration work. So we're happy about that.
Funding isn't the only thing Troy Thrash is best known for at the Air Zoo. Being handed a telescope at 7 years old inspired Troy to share his interest in outer space. Receiving a degree in astronomy and astrophysics from Villanova University led Troy to work at NASA on the Hubble Space Telescope. This all led to an opportunity in Michigan.
From there, I got a call from a recruiter about some Air Zoo in Kalamazoo, and I didn't know too much about Kalamazoo and even less about the Air Zoo, but the moment that I first walked through the cloud tunnel and I saw not only what was already there, the incredible aircraft and spacecraft, but I saw a future in which we could really change the value proposition of the Air Zoo into one that's more hands-on, educational, experiential. I was hooked. Every day when we see people come in the front door and see Susie's iconic pink P-40 and then they walk through the cloud tunnel and the faces and seeing so much, how unexpected it is for people to walk in and see the SR-71 on the right-hand side, the rides on the other side. And it is those faces really that keep me here, not just because of what they are about to experience today, but what we can continue to build to have even more of an impact for people tomorrow.